Gone in 60 seconds?
Only if the thieves are taking their time.
I'd say you're at extreme risk parking in this parking lot.
Catalytic converter thefts are rattling drivers across Colorado.
The public needs to know about it.
Frustrated, embarrassed, and on the hook for expensive repairs, drivers turn to Denver 7 Investigates Tony Kovaleski to rattle some cages.
1 week's worth of paycheck in my hand in 10 seconds.
He's taking you inside the ugly side of a booming criminal enterprise. It's insight from an informed salvage yard employee.
How much is that worth?
About 650 bucks.
Our data review shows it's happened in Denver and Boulder nearly 4,000 times in the past 2 years.
Do you get why this is such a popular crime?
Yes, easy money, very fast.
We will show you exactly how fast a little later. Let's begin in Boulder, where data we uncovered takes us to this RTD park and ride.
It's a feeling of rage. It's a feeling of rage.
It happened to Bill Enyart.
It's just got to be stopped.
I just got in and started it up, and it was so loud. It was deafening and embarrassing.
It also happened to Holly Winton. They both parked in RTD's Table Mesa parking lot. And they are not alone. This data obtained by Denver 7 shows thieves walked away with 88 catalytic converters from this location alone during the past 12 months.
I just think this whole thing needs to be escalated. Not enough's being done. The public needs to know about it.
Both victims wanted to know how it happens. Take a look and watch our stopwatch. We're not showing you anything the thieves don't already know. This demonstration at a local salvage yard shows how quickly a catalytic converter can become a cash commodity.
How long do you think that took?
About easy 10 seconds.
He was close. Officially, our stopwatch shows 14 seconds from the start of the first cut until the catalytic converter fell to the ground.
There's a lot of thefts out of that parking garage.
We shared the numbers with Boulder Police Commander Tom Trujillo. Data clearly showing this parking garage has become a prime target for thieves.
Is it frustrating to see these numbers?
It is, because they keep going up.
People want to know, have you made any arrests?
We have not.
After your review of these numbers, do you wish RTD would do more?
I think it's collaboration with us and RTD, and I think RTD has a part of this.
We also crunched data in Denver. During the past 14 months, the 4 most popular hotspots for catalytic converter thieves were the RTD Park and Ride at 40th and Colorado, the Central Park RTD Park and Ride on East Smith Road, the RTD Park and Ride near the airport at 61st and Pena, and the data also exposes multiple parking lots at DIA. All 4 locations have significant theft numbers, and based on that data, bad guys like parking lots where people leave their cars for extended periods of time. Are you surprised that our data found your park and rides are hotspots for these crooks?
Am I surprised? You know what? That's a tough question.
We also shared the numbers with RTD's acting police chief.
Now that we know that certain areas are exhibiting, more of those type of criminal incidents, now we know to redeploy our resources.
Our investigation has uncovered a couple critical issues. First, we learned RTD is not tracking police reports and thefts at its park and ride stations, including the 88 at its Boulder facility.
Did you know there were nearly 100 catalytic converter thefts at that location?
Those numbers I did not know.
And second, we find this fact telling. Currently, in the Boulder Table Mesa Park and Ride, RTD has 27 cameras in place. They're inside the elevators and outside the elevators, but not a single camera monitors the cars on the multiple floors of the parking garage. As we walk through here, there are no cameras monitoring these cars. What does that say to you?
Well, I actually made the assumption that there were cameras, so it's a huge surprise to me that there aren't any.
Some of the victims are asking the question, why are there not cameras in there?
That I would defer to RTD.
That is a question I apologize I'm not able to answer now.
A sign as you enter clearly says RTD is not responsible for theft or damage, but victims were surprised to learn the amount of risk they bought by parking in this structure. A crime of convenience, a location where crooks can access cars with no video accountability.
From your perspective, does RTD need to do something here?
If they want to put cameras in, that's something they can do. That's our suggestion to them.
RTD needs to own it, take responsibility, and take action.
You buy catalytics here?
I was heard that was worth like $400 or $500.
I think you're reading too much stuff online.
With hidden cameras rolling,
You get a lot of them up here?
we did some digging to find out who's buying,
People selling?
Yeah, I mean, a big building, all we do is cats.
what they require from sellers,
Do I have to fill out any paperwork?
Your ID, I get your ID and your license plate number. I put it in our system.
Do I have to give you my ID?
Yes.
and how much cash the catalytic converters produce.
I heard I might be able to get as much as $600 for this.
Yes, you could.
The video provides an exclusive look behind the curtain inside the somewhat clandestine industry of cashing in on catalytic converters.
This is probably worth about $200 alone.
This informed scrapyard employee agreed to talk with us. He's an insider providing an education into the value of used catalytic converters.
It gets real pricey when you're doing your Volkswagens. The Volkswagen, $600.
And that value comes from what's inside the catalytic converters: precious metals, platinum, palladium, and rhodium, all trading at record prices. Visually, these are catalytic converters, but the truth is, this is money.
Big money, big money.
Big money in a small amount of time. Take a close look at this video. It shows what the bad guys already know. With a portable saw and less than 15 seconds, criminals can turn metal into money. According to data provided by the Colorado State Patrol, that sound of a stolen catalytic converter hitting the ground happened more than 9,800 times last year in Colorado.
I could give you up to $20 for this.
During more than a half dozen visits to scrapyards around the metro area, we discovered a wide range of prices.
Why is that worth so little? Because I've been reading they're worth like a lot of money.
The reason for that is, and the reason for us asking for an ID is because there's a big theft problem with those, and so they're not paying that much.
Remember, our experts said this catalytic converter was worth between $400 and $600.
If you can find somebody to pay you that much for it, I encourage you to do that. I will warn you, you might get in trouble.
Our visits to local scrapyards also uncovered some locations with a clear reticence to buy.
I don't buy this from individuals.
You don't buy these?
Because it's stolen. The law now is changing. Yeah, I mean, we can't buy from the public.
But we did find a couple locations still in the business of buying.
Right, so this one you'd be looking at $100.
This location offered to purchase R3 catalytic converters as long as we provided a valid ID.
This one I could do $220, and this one will be $70.
Okay, and is that the best price you'll give on all of them?
Yeah.
And a week later, we brought 3 other catalytic converters to the same location with the same result.
So this one's $70, this one's $60, and this one's $300.
And how do I get paid?
Cash.
Cash?
Yep.
Do I need anything else?
Just an ID.
Just an ID?
Yep.
Do I have to have an ID?
Yep.
Okay. Any way around that?
By all indications, this location and all the others we visited are following the law in Colorado. Ultimately, that might explain the unprecedented rise in thefts. Currently, in Colorado, all you need is a driver's license. Tony Kovaleski with Denver 7. I wanted to talk to you about your business. After this location offered to purchase from us on 2 separate visits and offered the most cash for the converters, we returned to ask questions. How many cats are you buying a day?
Maybe 500.
From everything we picked up, you're not doing anything to break the law. Is there a part of you that wonders if all these are legit, or maybe some of them are stolen?
Well, yeah, of course. But, I mean, there's no way for us to know.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I own the building. I own
You
the
do?
business. Yeah, I do.
Is this your business?
And the building.
Several minutes into the interview, the owner came out to address our questions. What do you say to those victims out there that are out $2,000, $3,000, or $4,000 because a cat's stolen?
No, it's very unfortunate. We need to change the law. I'm all for it.
You want the law changed?
Yeah, we can change it. Add a VIN check for individuals selling cats. That's fine with me.
It's 4:47 in the morning. A cul-de-sac in Littleton. 3 guys in a gray SUV. The driver stays inside. Look closely. You don't see this often.
When you watch the video, what's it say to you?
A rare look at criminals in action through the lenses of 2 security cameras.
It's out of control. I had this camera up.
Steve Jones strategically mounted the cameras, trying to protect his property.
Maybe somebody will see it. Maybe somebody will recognize the people who did it.
That's the sound of a Sawzall cutting out Steve's catalytic converter.
There's the sound.
Yep.
Right in your driveway.
Yep.
Now watch how little time it took from the moment the 2 criminals exited the car, then they crawled under the truck, cut out Steve's catalytic converter, and finally got back in the car. The clock shows it took only 45 seconds.
I couldn't believe they had the audacity to come up in my driveway. It was so close to my house. I just felt real violated.
The video also shows Steve's neighbor came out about 30 seconds after the criminals arrived.
He said that the guy showed a gun and told him just to get back in the house. This doesn't stop us. It turned into a real tragedy.
And that's the heart of Steve's frustration. He filed a police report and sent police the video you've watched.
It shows 2 guys getting out of a car.
It does.
And police haven't responded?
Nope, haven't heard a thing.
What's that say?
They just don't care. This is not a crime that they care about.
We heard similar frustrations from victims of catalytic converter theft in this RTD park and ride in Boulder.
It's incredulous that there's not more security here.
Bill Anyart had his converter stolen from the RTD park and ride.
I just think this whole thing needs to be escalated. Not enough's being done.
The mounting frustrations are a product of the massive increase in thefts. Boulder, Denver, Littleton, and all of Colorado reporting record numbers of thefts. Our digging found statewide, catalytic converter thefts increased by more than 5,000% between 2019 and 2021. And law enforcement sources confirm current laws in Colorado make it difficult to catch and successfully prosecute the thieves.
What message does that say to the bad guys?
There's no penalty. They're not going to get caught. If nobody's going to try and look for them, then why stop doing it?
How hard is it going to be to catch these guys?
It's going to be difficult.
We brought the frustrations aired by Steve Jones to the Littleton Police Department.
His reaction was your department hasn't done enough on a crime that he said could get really ugly.
I certainly can understand his frustrations or his concerns.
Could the Littleton Police Department have done a better job here?
I think that communication is something that we've recognized we can do better at.
But it's important to stress here, communicating with victims and catching bad guys are 2 entirely different issues. And stopping catalytic converter thefts is a challenge for every law enforcement agency in the state.
It's extremely frustrating for our officers.
Denver Police Chief Paul Pazin echoes that frustration. In his city, catalytic converter thefts have increased by more than 900%.
I know of officers that have pulled over a truck with the back bed of this truck full of catalytic converters, and we cannot hold somebody accountable for that particular crime.
Using hidden cameras earlier this year, our Denver 7 investigation found this location north of Denver.
So this one's $70, this one's $60, and this one's $300.
A location that was following current laws, asking for an ID, and purchasing hundreds of catalytic converters every day.
You want the law changed?
Yeah, we can change it.
The business owner encouraged Colorado lawmakers to require buyers of catalytic converters to verify vehicle identification numbers as part of the transaction.
Based upon the current environment, do you see catalytic converter theft slowing down anytime soon?
I do not see the crime of catalytic converter theft slowing down anytime soon in Colorado.
Earlier this month, Governor Polis signed 2 new laws designed to help cut down on catalytic converter thefts here in Colorado. But bill sponsors and Denver's police chief both recognize this is only a first step. Colorado's Attorney General said at the bill signing, we are just getting started and we know we have to do more. Our reporting on this critical public safety issue will continue. I'm Chief Investigative Reporter Tony Kovaleski.